New Earth is here. New Earth is here. Are you one of the 3 waves of volunteers? If you're watching a video like this, then you most likely are. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the 3 waves of volunteers as described by Dolores Cannon and a brief overview of how it links to indigos, crystals, and rainbow starseeds. And stay tuned to have your mind blown, because my mind is. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and I help people to find their center. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 waves of volunteers and how each group, and there's overlaps between each of the 3 waves of volunteers, what that means, and each one has overlaps of indigos, crystals, and rainbow starseeds. So for those of you that don't know, there's the Great Awakening going on the planet. It's known as the Ascension. It's known as the Solar Flash. It's known as the Great Awakening. And this all started back in the 1940s when the atomic bomb was going to go off, according to Dolores Cannon. Now, she's a pioneer on this. She was one of the first people to write about UFOs and ETS, and go check out her books and stuff like that. And all of her works are transcriptions of her sessions with her clients. She's a hypnotherapist that invented a technique called QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, quantum healing hypnosis technique. And everybody said the same thing, that they came here to be a part of the shift, or to at least witness the shift. And Earth herself is the first planet, the first star system in the multiverse to go through this shift, while beings are in physical vessels. It's been done before in light body. It's been done non-physically, but this is the first time where it's going to be happening physically, or it's happened physically. And it's known as the biggest show in the universe right now, and there's a lot of people and a lot of beings watching us. So anyway, to sum it up, Dolores Cannon said that the call was put out during the 1940s when the atomic bomb was going to go off. We were gifted with the power of that technology by the ETs that have been our guardians and gatekeepers since this planet was created. It was created by them, and each time when humanity is ready to jump in consciousness, the beings give us like a little bit of a boost. They help us out by giving us one free gift of technology, and that was the atomic energy at that point. So man, unfortunately, yes, us men, incorrectly used that and turned it into a weapon instead of something productive for the planet. And we were going to blow ourselves up similar to Atlantis. Anyway, Earth put out a call. She was like, you guys ain't destroying me this time. And we came this close. So a call was put out. Those of us chilling in our starships, our spaceships, our different star systems heard the call, heard Earth putting out a call that said, help, help, we need help. And those of us had either had compassion for Earth, we've either been there, or we just wanted to help on a mission because you're a cool being like that. And those of us were born into the system. And that's the only way to help raise the vibration on the planet Earth, is from the inside out. But a lot of us got stuck here. We didn't know what we were signing up for. We didn't know really how dense of a place Earth is. And that's what the Great Awakening is about, shifting from 3D to 4D and 5D. So 3 waves of volunteers came to help with this ascension by each of these different waves raising the vibration on the planet, and each had a different kind of overarching mission. Now, a lot of these waivers go by age groups, but that you can also, to me, Dolores kind of was like, no, you have to be this age to this age. But to me, I think it's a little bit more flexible. Even her daughter has said that, we can be a little bit more flexible. And to me, it's possible that you might even be part of kind of both. You could be part of 2 different groups. Anyway, so let's get into the wave of volunteers. The first waivers were like the baby boomers, those born between, say, the 40s to the 60s. And my parents are some of these, my grandparents, some of your parents, grandparents, maybe even some of you watching this channel, maybe some of the first waivers. And this group had it the most difficult of all because they were like the infantry. They were the frontliners and these beings were indigos that paved the way for the crystals and the rainbows to come through. But somebody had to be in the trenches with no help at all. And these beings felt very much alone. They felt very, like, out of place. They had a high suicide rate. They wanted to go home. They didn't like it here on Earth. They didn't like the violence, but they didn't really know what home is. They just never felt at home, either in their body or on Earth. So a lot of them have been through, like, the harsh times, and a lot of them did not like war. A lot of the first waivers, some of them were also some of the hippies that were, like, protesting the war and, like, peace and love and light and all that kind of stuff. So they had it the hardest because they had to come in with no help. They had to come in basically, like, blindfolded with not knowing, and they kind of just had to go through it. So that's the first wave. And to me, some of those are indigos. And the second wave is people born, say, between the 70s, 80s, could even be 90s, you know. If that resonates with you, you have to always go within. Again, that's one thing I'll tell you on this channel, which is what the second waivers are. They're channels, antennas, generators that energy flows through them. And these beings are like lighthouses. You walk through a crowded mall, a crowded space, and you trigger people. Or you find random randos running up to you asking you for advice. Or you may feel drained going into like a Walmart or a supermarket if there's too many people there. You prefer to be kind of on your own. You kind of prefer to be away from people. You like helping people, but you also don't like people either. You kind of want to just, you know, chill back and just be. And the more peaceful, this group is more peaceful than the first group. And to me, there's a mix of crystals and indigos in this one. Some of the blue rays, to me, fall in this category of the second waivers. So this group is chilling. They like to help people, but they may not want to be around people. So you may run an online business. You may work with technology to connect people. You may do some energy work and healing. And you just being, if you're one of these waivers in the second group, you just going somewhere helps to raise the vibration as long as you're in vibrational alignment yourself. So that's the second wave. The second wave does not want to really have kids if they can help it because kids create karma. Now, that's up for debate. You may be a second waiver and you may have kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can totally clear up your karma. You can totally, you know, whatever resonates with you. I've got 2 kids, not biologically, but you know what? I love them as my own kids, so maybe that gives me some karma. Oh, well, whatever. They're awesome. Anyway, so that's the second wave. The third wave is the new kids coming in with everything in place. Dolores said that these beings have their DNA already activated. They're already acclimated to the vibration of New Earth. They're already acclimated to the vibration of the higher frequencies, and they don't have as many Ascension symptoms. They don't get as bombarded by these energies. They're kind of just like, yeah, whatever, and they have a lot of energy. Their energy is so strong that it's hard to anchor into one physical body. So that soul may choose, you know, to try to be born, and they may not be able to be born into one body. So that parent couple may have miscarriages because imagine trying to fit like an elephant down like a, you know, into the size of a lemon kind of thing. So anyway, these third waivers may send a part of their auric field, a part of their essence, instead of like their massive, huge thing. And to me, these are some of the crystals and the rainbows that we're seeing. And the second waivers are supposed to interact with people. The third waivers are you know, peaceful warriors. They're the ones that are standing up for all sorts of injustice, and like my kids and my various nieces and nephews, a lot of them are non-binary, or, you know, they don't care if they're a male, a boy, and wearing girls' clothes or whatever. They're very open-minded, and they do not like people to be made fun of. They do not like any sort of social injustice. They do not like any harm to come to anyone or any being or any plant, animal, or anything on the planet. A lot of them may be plant-based or vegetarian or have a more compassionate outlook on life. And a lot of these ones are linked to the rainbow prophecy specifically, these beings, these crystals and these rainbows. Again, you might be one of these and you might be an older crystal or rainbow. That's cool too. Whatever resonates with you. These are just guidelines. So to sum it up, the first wavers had the most difficult time. A lot of them are indigos because their auric field was indigo. They had a strong sense of rebellion. They had a strong sense of like a warrior spirit, and they hate injustice, kind of like the third wavers, but a little different. You know, some of these beings may have ADHD. They may be highly sensitive and psychic, and they may have a lot of spiritual gifts. The second wavers may be some indigos, Blu-rays definitely mixed in there. Don't like people, powerhouses of energy on their own, prefer to be alone, and can just raise the vibration simply by setting foot or even thinking of a place. It raises the vibration. I remember my wife and I we got married in July. We went to Denver. We went to this place called Garden of the Gods, and it was the first time her and I had seen each other in months. I remember that people were getting so triggered by the two of us being there that we got triggered ourselves, and I didn't kind of realize what was going on until after. And people were kind of just rushing around us, and like they were getting all sorts of nutsy cuckoo around us, and that's kind of always been. Why? Because we've got some of the energy of the second wavers where we're like powerhouses of energy. And you could embody some of the traits of one and some of the traits of the other. It depends. That's what one of my teachers in school used to say, my Chinese medicine teacher. If you asked him a question, sometimes he would say, it depends. So again, second wavers, powerhouses, loners, more quiet than their first and third waver counterparts, but they still have a warrior spirit too. They're more of the peaceful warriors. First wavers are like the hippies and the protesters, and second wavers are more of the peaceful warriors, some of the Blu-rays, some of that crystals where they're full of kindness and they're gentle, loving souls, and they look out for the collective whole. They don't look out for themselves, but they look out for humanity. And the third wavers are more like their first waver counterparts with more of that fiery rebel kind of energy, but they're here to complete the work of the indigos, the first wavers, and the crystals, the second wavers. So you can, they may start young at helping kids. They have strong healing and telepathic abilities. A lot of them are born from crystal parents. I know second wavers may not have kids, but you might. And some of them are born from either indigo or crystal or highly gifted parents themselves, Or they may have the flip side of that. The crystals may be born to unawakened, muggles, so to speak, and may be the most gifted one of their family. You have to go within what resonates with you. But the rainbows are here to anchor in New Earth. The rainbows are here to anchor in the rainbow light frequency, the rainbow warriors, the warriors of the rainbow. The rainbow starseeds are the ones that the Hopi Cree prophecy talked about, So again, you've got the first, second, and third wavers. You've got indigos, you've got crystals, and you've got rainbows. So again, smash that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think down below. I love hearing from you, Starseeds. Let me know which Starseed that you are. You can find me on Instagram too at Rainbow Om Connection Center. Have a wonderful day. Peace and unity, Starseeds.